What up, YouTube? Malt Frazier here, and y'all know we had that college football playoff first round last night. Alabama visiting Oklahoma in Norman, and y'all know the Tide got that good get back game and beat Oklahoma 34-24, advancing to the college football playoff quarterfinal last night. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, last night was an absolute thriller. If you checked out early, shame on you. Because listen, when it was 17 zip, Oklahoma was up. The crowd was all types of fired up. They thinking they about to put Alabama to bed. People talking about RIP Bama football. Only took 2 years to kill. I mean, they talking crazy. But listen, we got that lion heart, that lion spirit, that warrior mentality. And that team that came out last night, I would say wearing crimson and white, but both the teams was wearing crimson and white. But listen, that Alabama team that stepped on the field last night down 17 points, that showed that true character, that's the team that I know. That's the team we've seen most of this year. And that's the reason that this team can win a championship. It's the character of this team. We have seen every type of situation you could see in college football this year. We done been embarrassed when we weren't supposed to. We done won games we weren't supposed to. We done won games with the defense, the offense, the special teams. We done been the underdog, came out on top. And in every situation this season, this team has always gotten up. Anytime we were knocked down, we got back on our feet. We finished strong. We fought back. We came back. And that's what you saw last night. Last night was our entire season in one game to me, because you saw all parts that Alabama has shown throughout the year. You've seen moments of brilliance where we're clicking in the second half offensively, making big plays, the defense stiffening up and just shutting Oklahoma down, forcing turnovers. You saw the ugly side of Bama football this year, looking unprepared to start the game, digging holes on holes on holes, and really having no answers. And then you saw the ballsiness of our coaching staff, right? Like kalendeboer, you got to give him a lot of credit for last night's win. That play to go for it on fourth down, when we could have kicked the field goal, we go for it. We end up scoring a touchdown that changed the entire game. Obviously, that was our first touchdown of the game, so we cut the 17-0 deficit to 17-7. But also, it was just huge from a team morale standpoint. Like, honestly, I felt like in that moment we should take the points, make it a 17-3 game. It's not pretty, but it's a two-score game. You know, we can get back in this. This is not a situation that is too hard to overcome. But kalendeboer, man, he said, look, we're going to be aggressive here, and we're going to go for 6. We're going for the touchdown. And to me, that was huge. Obviously, from a scoreboard standpoint, it doesn't feel like the game is as far out of reach. You got a little more mojo going. We had put together a couple nice plays on that drive, so to finish it off, huge for team morale and team confidence. You could feel the energy of the team, kind of like, okay, y'all, we still got life. You know, we can still do this. And that mentality changed everything. So shout out to Coach Debo. But let's go ahead and dive into it. So I mentioned pretty ugly game to start for Alabama, and it was about as ugly of a start as any of our ugly starts, which is pretty impressive if you've seen some of the bad starts Bama's had this year. But for me, the biggest gripe that I had was just the team came out looking so unprepared. I mean, we have seen this Oklahoma team before, so, this is nothing new. And the loss to Oklahoma really was mostly self-inflicted, so I'm feeling like, man, we should be well prepared. Team should feel pretty confident. We already been playing with that pressure of win or go home for a long time now, ever since August. Let's be real. Since Florida State, we've been playing with our season on the line. So this is not unfamiliar territory. So for us to come out and just lay a stinker basically another week in a row, like it just felt like a continuation of the Georgia game. That was really disappointing. And it just looked like our offense had lost all confidence at one point, man. It was like we can't convert a pass longer than 4 yards without struggling. And, that was just like a bad place to be. But credit to this team just never giving up. Coach DeBoer said, when you find yourself in a game like that, you have a bad start, just keep playing. The game will come back to you. And that's exactly what happened. We were able to hit on a big play to Latier Brooks when we were down 17-0, and that opened the game up. It was a great catch for Latier Brooks, not an easy catch. And Ty Simpson also, good to see him make a big play, get some more confidence flowing through him. And then the call on fourth down made it 17-7. And, that whole keep playing, the game will come back to you. That's exactly what happened. The defense went out there, got to stop. We get a fortuitous play. You keep playing, the game will come back to you. The punter for Oklahoma drops the ball, and we get a punt block. We capitalize on that 17-7 game. Oklahoma goes back out there again. They give us an absolute gift. Shout out to my boy Xavier Brown, man. He gets the pick six, takes it all the way back to the crib. And as ugly of a start we had to this game, we were walking into halftime 0-0. I mean, couldn't ask for a better outcome of a first half playing so poorly. I think we ran like 22 plays offensively in the first half. That just ain't going to cut it, man. You got to have more opportunities to have the ball, to score the ball, right? So to go into halftime 17-7, it's game on, baby. So I was really happy with that, just because there was a scenario where the game's over at halftime, right? And so, for us to be here, I know Oklahoma was shook. And you could see it in the fans. You could see the confidence of the players on Oklahoma dip. After John Mateer threw that pick six, they were scared, to let the ball loose a little bit. So, second half was set up to be Bama's half. So, again, keep playing and the game will come back to you. And Coach Debo saying that last night also reminded me of a moment from the Olympics. I think it was either 2016 or it might have been the Tokyo Olympics, but the women's relay team, Allison Felix was on that team. And during their qualifying race, they dropped the baton. I think somebody bumped into them, which caused the drop of the baton, right? So the race is pretty much over for Team USA. They're not going to be able to win. But Allison Felix tells her teammates to finish the race, pick up the baton and finish the race, because she knew that they were going to be able to protest that situation and that they would get another opportunity to run. But it wouldn't be a good look if they didn't finish the race. So by just finishing, not giving up, even though the outcome had already been decided and they were going to lose that race, finish the race and the game will come back to you, right? And that's exactly what happened. Team USA was able to protest the baton dropping. They got another opportunity and they ended up winning a gold medal. And so, you keep playing when things ain't going right. The game will come back to you. And so second half for Alabama, 0-0 game. And from there, it was just about making plays to me. The second half, our offense, Ty Simpson's letting it rip. Latier Brooks making a play. Isaiah Horton made a huge play downfield. And then Jeremy Bernard. He made the catch of the game. Absolutely mossed the defender. That play will be on a poster for sure. And, we needed a huge play in that moment, and he delivered. And so the offense, man, we saw them operate better than we've seen in maybe months, right? Daniel Hill broke loose in that second half, had a big explosive run. And then on the defensive side, we had 5 sacks. I think that's the most sacks we've had all season in a game. Yanze Pierre getting after it. Keon Keeley, Kelby Collins, London Simmons. We just had a litany of guys creating pressure for us. And I give a big credit to that to Kane Womack. He made some great adjustments last night. When we started sending more pressure, it really affected Oklahoma, and it changed the game for us. The team was fired up, and I just think that energy was so contagious in a game where it's like it's us against the world. The odds are against us. Nobody picked us to begin the game anyway, and then we start off having to climb ourselves out of a 17-0 deficit. That energy, the brothers just coming together and for a common goal, man, like that was beautiful to see, man. And so super proud of this team being able to just come together and make the plays to win that game, because honestly, that came down to the players. I thought Coach Debo did a great job of getting the party started, inflicting some confidence into the players, going for it on that fourth down and scoring a touchdown. But after that, man, it was just like guys just out there making plays, bro. And that was beautiful to see. And that's a big part of the reason that, this team is never out of it, right? Like we always talk about the character of this football team. Bama's been in a whole bunch of situations. I know what this team is capable of. I know how they're going to respond. Even if they get punched in the mouth, even if the team is driving on them, like they're going to have a chance to get a turnover in the red zone. They're going to have a chance to block this kick. They're going to have a chance to make a play at some point. They've shown it over and over and over. And that's why I got us winning this natty, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and show y'all my bracket real quick. As you can see here, now y'all know there was no way that my guys was going to get this far in the season, and I'm not picking them to win the Natty. But I actually believe in it. It ain't just my crimson lenses. I think we have a real favorable road to the championship. Obviously, we just beat Oklahoma last night. Now we get Indiana. Now, Indiana is the number one team in the country. All credit to them. But I still ain't scared of no Indiana. And we get in Indiana in Pasadena, California. Alabama's going to have way more fans than Indiana is in California. It's just what it is. Alabama is a national football brand. It's the Yankees of college football. Indiana is the new kid on the block. It's a cool story because they're the number one team, but let's be real. I got Bama all day in that one. And my hope is that, we get 2 more weeks to rest before we play Indiana. We had a couple players come back for the game against Oklahoma, but we're still trying to work a few players back. Josh Cuevas, he's still on a snap count. LT Overton, one of our best D linemen, period. He was out in this game. I bet he'll be back for the Indiana game. So, we'll be able to utilize these 2 weeks to get, even better healed up. Now, Indiana, they've been chilling, right? By the time we play on New Year's Day, they will have been off about a month. So, good chance that they might be over-rested. You know what I'm saying? And then I just don't think the talent gap between Indiana and Alabama is that great. So, we should be able to come in here and have a very winnable game. I think that the Mendoza quarterback for Indiana is a good passer, but he's a pocket guy. That's not the type of quarterback that has given Bama the toughest matchups and problems. It's more of the dual threat guys that are an issue for us. Like for me, I'd be more afraid to face Lenore Sellers of South Carolina than Mendoza. Now, hey, you might be thinking, "Maul, you tripping," but I do not fear Indiana whatsoever. So I'm not saying this will be a blowout or anything like that. I don't even know if Bama can blow a team out like that, you know what I'm saying, based on what we've seen this year. But we can beat this team for sure, for sure. And I think with the way that our pass rush is clicking now, they got a lot of confidence. Mendoza's a sitting duck back there. If we can make it so he can't get rid of the ball super quick, we're making things difficult for their receivers and playmakers. I think we got a good chance to be very disruptive and, keep Indiana's offense in check. And then after that, I'm hoping that we've unlocked something with our offense. Ryan Grubb is back calling plays in the booth. That's the best the offense has looked since he was in the booth. So that's good. Ty Simpson looked like he got some mojo going. The receivers, right? And we still waiting on number 2, Ryan Williams, to get it back involved. Now, maybe that's happening, maybe it's not. But, there's still meat on the bone for this offense. So I'm feeling like we go into Pasadena and we make a statement for sure to advance to the semifinal. So with the rest of my bracket, I got Oregon absolutely dog walking James Madison today. I can't believe James Madison is even in the playoff. Absolute crazy work there. But I got Oregon versus Texas Tech in that next round. Then I got Ole Miss beating Tulane today. I think that could be a close game, but I got Ole Miss winning that one to face Georgia. And then I got A&M beating Miami today. That's a home game for A&M. I think Miami probably lose their composure a little bit in such a tough environment. I could see Carson Beck throwing some interceptions in that one. And I don't really like Mario Cristobal as a coach in certain game management situations. So I'm going to lean towards Coach Elko and A&M on that one. And then in that quarterfinal matchup, I got Texas Tech beating Oregon. I think Texas Tech is just a better overall team. Oregon, they're equally yoked, but I'm not big on Oregon this year. I got Georgia beating Ole Miss easy. I just don't think Ole Miss is going to be real competitive with their whole coaching situation. And then I got Ohio State beating A&M, but I think that's a super close game. I think Ohio State's going to have to grit that one out. And then, I got Bama beating Indiana, like I said. And then, so that semifinal, I got Ohio State beating Georgia in another close one. I just think that Ohio State has better skilled players than Georgia, and they can expose their cornerbacks a little bit. But it'll be a good matchup. I think Kirby, is a great coach, so he's going to keep it close. But I got Ohio State advancing to the Natty, and then I got Bama beating Texas Tech as well. So that would set up Alabama, Ohio State in the national championship in Miami, Florida. Listen, we getting that one done, baby. So I got the Tide beating Ohio State. come national championship time. But I think, that's going to be a tough one for sure. But I think the two games leading up to it, Texas Tech, Indiana potentially, I don't see us having a huge issue beating those guys. I think those are definitely winnable games for Alabama. So it would not surprise me at all after all this ups and downs and all that, for Bama to be hosting the trophy. But, we'll see in a couple weeks, man. Y'all enjoy this college football Saturday. Y'all know I'm juiced. I'm turned up, baby. Roll Tide. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the game last night and who y'all got coming out of this playoff. I'll holla at y'all soon, and I'm out.